16 of A Course in Miracles. The chapter is called The Forgiveness of Illusions. And this section is the first section, True Empathy. Before I do that, I'm just going to rest for a little bit, focusing on what we are together. And my particular focus is going to be Lesson 65 in A Course in Miracles. My only function is the one God gave me, or in other words, my function, hey Tally, is to look through what is not here to what is truly here. So I'm going to rest in that. You can do that along with me, or just whatever you want for the moment I'm doing this. Okay. Okay, thank you. This is going to put me in a good frame of mind before I go off to bed. Orient me toward a rest that will ultimately assist me. Our nighttime dreams can be oriented toward helping us become aware of the reality of everything, or they can be oriented in the opposite direction. And we always choose, just the same with our daytime dreams, which thing that's going to be. Okay, so starting with section True Empathy in chapter 16, The Forgiveness of Illusions. To empathize does not mean to join in suffering. Just that one is so big. The ego would say, if you care about me, you'll be upset and concerned when I'm upset. That's what the ego says. And I'm sure we've all been there, wanting people to be concerned about us. But what if someone could be with us and could be completely fine, completely fulfilled, completely loved, completely empowered, and to know down to their toes that the same is true of us, that we are completely empowered, that we are completely loved, that as beings we're totally loving, even if we're giving ourselves an experience of being a person that seems unloving. If we could know down to our toes, as a being, I can't ever do anything but be loving, and I can't experience anything with another being except for love. This is on the being level. On the person level, we seem to have made it possible by inventing time and space to both do something unloving and experience something unloving coming at us, and then that's why we believe we're victims of the circumstances in time and space. But the thing about the circumstances in time and space is we ourselves have imagined them, and it doesn't matter what person I appear to be at the moment, it's the one of us imagining it. Okay. All right, to empathize does not mean to join in suffering, for that is what you must refuse to understand. And I am certainly learning this. I must refuse to join in suffering. It doesn't mean I don't love anyone, but according to the ego's version of love, it does mean that I don't love you if I don't empathize in the ego's way. So there's ego's fake love. The ego will keep you searching and searching and searching for this, and the ego is going to idealize love and make you think it's the best thing ever. The ego's love, fake love. Or there's the actual love. Real love is what you are all the time, and what everyone else is as a being, not as a person or a personality or a past. It's what all of us are all the time, and we're always connected by actual love. So there's a big difference between ego's love, which it idealizes and sets away from you. It makes you yearn and strain toward, and it shows you examples in time and space of those who have attained ego's ideal successfully, and then it tells you, oh, but no, you haven't. Or maybe sometimes if you believe you've succeeded in something, you've achieved something, you'll say, oh, I have attained ego's ideal love, but that guy over there hasn't. If there's a difference between you and another, then it's ego's love. It's not actual love. Actual love, there's no difference. All beings are it, all beings are connected by it. So there's the being level versus the person level. The person level's imagined from the premise that I, and any I can say this, have imagined time and space to play out a love that can never be love. And as we remember actual love, then everything sort of falls into place. We're able to forgive. We're able to see through what is not here, all the varying competing facets in time and space, to what is here, the changeless, what always will be here. And that helps us be helpful to everyone around us. And Tally says it's hard to comprehend how love is a state of being and not feeling an emotion. I agree. It's a journey for us. And what did I want to say about it? Let me say it again. It's hard to comprehend how love is a state of being and not feeling emotion. What I'm learning is that ego's ups and downs are addictive. So it's like we're all drug addicts, and you have to know you're an addict with a problem before you can respond to that addiction in a way that's helpful to you and others. So now when I don't feel good, when I feel tension, when I feel stress, it's like, okay, I'm addicted to ego thought, and this is the outcome of going on a bender. An ego thought bender is I don't feel peace. I feel tension, I feel struggle, I feel strain. This is the result. And so I learn not to consume the substance, and then I don't get the effect. But, it seems to take time and focus. But the more I go along, the more I realize that focus, that awareness is worth it. It's worth directing my mind that way to notice when I'm out of alignment with what I am and what you are. And feel free to bring up anything in the chat until I says, I know that's what it is, just hard to comprehend. Yeah, what is. And to notice that the one who struggles to comprehend, thank goodness, isn't us. I'm starting to see that more. The fiction of the one who struggles, the fiction of the one who suffers. I'm like, oh, that's another little loop-de-loop to get caught in. Like, I'm not that one. What we are is changeless, like literally changeless, so stable. What everyone truly is utter stability, eternally. And it's like we learn to start to look at this and accept it, no matter who that other one seems to be. And this is the basis for our trust in them. We trust the stability that they are. We're learning to look toward that in each other. And then there's nothing to figure out or understand, because the same is the same. The same in me is the same in you forever. Okay. That is the ego's interpretation of empathy, and is always used to form a special relationship in which the suffering is shared. Okay, so the ego's interpretation is empathy, is join in suffering with me. And that's what I must refuse to understand. That doesn't make me cold. That doesn't make you cold. Playing out the fiction of accusing someone of being cold or warm. Here's this ideal over here who is warm. Here's this non-ideal over here who is cold. It's the same trap. We can get stuck in that loop. We can play that game, but it's optional. It is optional. And Tally says, getting the prompt to watch and suggest watching Stranger Than Fiction. Oh, I remember that with Will Ferrell. I guess it's about a man whose life is playing out by an author writing a book. I guess metaphor for how the character and story isn't us. Yeah, I'm trying to remember it and I can't. So tell me what you learn about it. It'll probably ring a bell for me. But there's so many metaphors that speak to us in all the stories. And apropos of nothing, Tally, I keep forgetting to tell you, I did watch Boo Bitch with my husband. We watched it over a series of days and we finished it. So I did watch that. Thank you for the recommendation. Okay. So, all right, we're not going to share in suffering. We're going to refuse to understand that. What the ego does is it uses empathy to form a special relationship. I'll be nice to you here. That guy over there wasn't nice to you. Let's judge him from our special relationship. Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. You're excited that I watched Boo Bitch. Yeah, it was good. What do I want to say? Special relationships. From the safe harbor of our special relationships, we judge others and we don't know we're hurting ourselves. Because that one over there is us. And if we stay in the addiction of, I need to keep getting fueled by the idea that one can be better or worse than another, I need to keep getting fueled by the idea that one of us could harm another. That's what seems to play out on the personality past level. It sure does. We don't have to deny that, but this is the fiction, and we're making the fiction. The fiction aligns with the thoughts we believe. And with our focus and with our permission, the illusion we made aligns with the actuality of our being, the stability, the innocence, the worthiness, the actual love, not the fake love, the actual love. And so we're all empowered to allow the illusion to align with what we all are together. You said, oh yeah, I'm so excited. I'll talk with you about it tomorrow. Yes. It was good. All the ice they had to keep getting. All right. The capacity to empathize is very useful to the Holy Spirit, provided you let him use it in his way. So we don't have to throw the capacity to empathize out the window, but we do have to put it in the hands of the truly stable. We do have to put it in the hands of what is present within every being and not try to use it ourselves, like from the perspective of our separate character, from a judgmental perspective. So this capacity to join and connect and be with is useful to the Holy Spirit. But we have to keep our hands off it, and that's something that we learn. His way is very different. That's what we learn. The way of spirit is very different from the way of ego. And the way of spirit does not require that I judge you up as an ideal, as positive, or down, as lacking, deficient, harmful. Then I don't know you. I'm just using you. If I'm judging you especially up or especially down, I'm just using you to remain a separate self and to keep all these other selves separate from me. And of course, I still do that. You can't still appear in time and space and not still do that. But somehow we learn as we're still appearing in time and space, okay, let's allow this to be used now as the vehicle to carry us all through and out of the chaos of time and space. Okay. He does not understand, this would be Holy Spirit, which is what everyone is. Holy Spirit you could see as the bridge from perception to knowledge within everyone and everything. All right, so he does not understand suffering and would have you teach it is not understandable. Okay, again, this isn't cold. It's all the suffering we perceive and experience, we imagined. So we have to get straight with ourselves here. We made it up. Of course, it feels very real when we ourselves are caught in suffering. Of course, it does. The special effects are great here. Of course, we want to help when it looks like another is suffering. But the one thing we have to learn here is that there is true help, true helpfulness, and the false helpfulness of ego's empathy. And we don't, like Groundhog Day, we don't want to keep looping and looping and looping in that same unhelpful helpfulness that keeps us addicted to the ups and downs of emotion and keeps us away from the stability that we actually share with each other all the time, with all the players in this play, the villains, the victims, the heroes, the bystanders. Everyone shares the same stability. Everyone shares the same innocence. Everyone shares the same worthiness. And keeping that in view, we can be guided in ways to be truly helpful to each other. But the ego can't keep track of all that. The ego can't control it. So we have to tune in at a level where our separate identities are not keeping track of assessing, judging, analyzing, and controlling what seem to be all these separate elements. Instead, we're allowing all these elements to be handled harmoniously by what all of us are together, what we always have been, what we always will be. And Tally says, all pain, fear, and suffering comes from resistance of what is. Again, I know that's true, can struggle to accept it still. Yeah. And then the struggle is the opportunity to look at the thought and set it down. The struggle is not you. So just to take a moment and say, oh, the struggle, if I keep identifying with and as the struggle, and yet it's a trick, it isn't me. Of course, it's a very real seeming experience, but the struggle isn't me, and the struggle isn't anyone else. What are we? Then there's that little pause for something to come in that we're not used to. It's something to come in to be in charge. And here it is. And Tally says, it's like being under the influence and allowing letting go of ego control and allowing our true self to take control. Yes. There's a letting go, there's like a, you take your hands off it and you just let it. What is the same about all of us, what joins us, you let it be in charge. You let it show you. You let it show, designated driver. Yeah. You let it show both you and everyone you're calling else how to be together harmoniously in the situation, what to say, what to do, even what to think. And the part of you that rears up against this, that's not you, thank goodness. Whatever struggles, whatever suffers, that's not you. That's fictional you that we got addicted to pretending to be. We got addicted to pretending to be our fictional selves. And that's okay, because that's undoable with our attention and our focus. And Baroque Blue says, I avoid all that ego worldliness by being a hermit. Oh, well, yeah. There is that tendency, isn't there? And yet we still do come into contact with what we see as the world, even if we're in our quiet place and seemingly very happy to be there. Thoughts occur to us, and those thoughts seem to be about others. Those thoughts seem to be about the world. There's the world. It's here in my mind. I'm making it up. There it is. And Tali says, I'm a hermit too, but as long as I'm still playing with this illusion, I'm still clinging to ego worldliness. Yep. Philosopher Erich Fromm had a book called The Art of Loving. It was basically the same as your explanation you talked about earlier. Well, thanks, Erich Fromm. Maybe you're helping me out here. And Tally says, operating from ego, unless we're not playing with illusion. In truth, we're home. But illusion is ego. Yeah, it'd be funny if I sit here and say, I'm operating from truth, and then I point the finger at some other guy, but you're operating from ego. I mean, that would put me in ego. I just sliced and diced us, and I made a difference between us. So it becomes very comical. All right, let's see. finding where I left off here. Okay, he does not understand suffering and would have you teach it is not understandable. So that's what we're going to teach. We're going to learn to be in a way that helps everyone remember suffering is not understandable. I, as a separate identity, don't have to figure it out. Thank goodness. Oh, the relief. I, as a separate identity, don't have to find the solution to it. Again, oh my God, thank God. I don't have to find the solution to suffering. I'm not it. No one else is it. It isn't understandable. And yet, there is a solution here for us. And Tally says, which one did I read? Operating from ego, unless we're not playing with illusion. In truth, we're home, but illusion is ego. Yes. If we can laugh with, not at, all of this, we're golden. Yes. We can, because it's funny how I tricked myself. It's unbelievable. It's incredible how lost I got believing I'm this separate identity. But now the memory's coming back, and the memory coming back helps everyone. And yeah, okay. When he relates through you, he does not relate through your ego to another ego. So when we're relating with sanity to one another, it's not making an alliance with something separate. It's recognizing what seems to be over there is the same as what's here. And here we are in the sameness. And I'm still learning. What's learning? Well, I don't know. But it feels like I've only just started to remember. I'm still subject to the addiction, and I have to be careful and aware and not get caught up in it again. Okay. He does not join in pain, understanding that healing pain is not accomplished by delusional attempts to enter into it and lighten it by sharing the delusion. So the Holy Spirit is never in pain. So who you really are has never been in pain. Isn't that nice? You've never been in pain. I've never been in pain. And yet we seem to have the memory of it. We seem to be familiar with the experience of it. And we may even seem to be experiencing a physical pain or an emotional pain right now. But to be able to look at pain and see it as an invented, addictive state I made for myself empowers me, because then I'm also able to let it go. I'm able to see when I'm attaching to it, and I'm able to practice letting it go. So the Holy Spirit doesn't join in pain. The Holy Spirit understands that healing pain is not accomplished by delusional attempts to enter into it. We don't have to try to enter into pain. Although it has been useful if I have experienced a physical pain to kind of play with the idea of going right into it, directly into it, and being with Jesus and having Jesus pick me up by my hands like I'm a child and swing me right into whatever the thought is. And I'm just, at first I'm thinking, what are we doing? And we go right into the thought, right at it, and like, oh, it's nothing. It always disappears once I get to it. So that can be a way of like going right into something to seeing that it's nothing. It's never been there. Okay, but it's not accomplished by delusional attempts to enter into it and lighten it by sharing the delusion. So something to be mindful of is we don't have to share the delusion. But you can notice the temptation if someone seems to be suffering greatly in front of you. There is a temptation to share the delusion. All the temptation comes from what we are not. And as we learn not to trust what we are not, then we stay away from the delusion. We rest in our sameness. Okay, the clearest proof that empathy... Oh, I didn't mean to read this much, but I guess I'm reading one more paragraph. The clearest proof that empathy, as the ego uses it, is destructive lies in the fact that it is applied only to certain types of problems and in certain people. Yeah, well, it seems limited what we can do as a person, and we pick and choose. I'll empathize with you, the one I have a special relationship with, but fuck everybody else. Okay, so empathy, as the ego uses it, is destructive because we're very selective in applying it. But everything the Holy Spirit gives us is applicable to everyone and everything. It's very simple, it's not complex, it doesn't require reasoning, it doesn't require figuring it out, it doesn't require remembering a past. Thank goodness. Okay. These it selects out and joins with. Okay, so the ego selects out certain problems, certain people, and then it joins selectively. But if we stand back from it all and say, I am one with everything, I am one with everyone, the true things about all of us are innocence as beings, not as persons. We're not analyzing persons. Innocence, worthiness, light, love, truth. Hey, Jamuna. How are you doing? Good to see you. Those are all the true things about us. And Tally says, makes me curious about what it's like where we truly are. Yeah, that's rememberable today, now, even. Our awareness can expand of, well, we're not here, we're imagining here, and we need to complete our experience of being here. But where are we? And how can where we are influence us right now? It's not really aware, but the best we can do with language. And Tully says, sorry, I know that was random. No need to be sorry. All things work together for good. And Jamuna says, good. Just cruising and saw you are alive. Yeah, I'm up talking at midnight, I think. Is that what time it is? Tally says, you missed what I said. I said first. Oh, I did. Let me go back. Oh, yeah. Okay. Tally says, I felt being, wait, was it before this? Yeah. Okay. I felt being held by the void last night. It was like the room disappeared. My eyes were closed and was just being held, and it was dark. Looking back, it's like being in a womb almost, I guess. Yeah, these experiences can come. And those experiences that come in the quiet and they seem to expand us or take us a little deeper, they make, then when you're back in time and space, they make that a little bit easier to flow through, I think. Also, then sometimes they come right before we hit a place where we seem to be especially addicted to ego. And then we have to contend with that. But it's like that experience gives us the tool we need to flow through that. Okay. And Jamuna says, Dawkin? I don't know if I read that right. I'm going to say hello again. Bye. Okay. Aloha is hello and goodbye, right? And Tally says, I tried to remove where I said to go back before Jamuna said aloha, but it's not letting me. It's okay. I'm happy to see and to hear about experiences you had. And Jamuna's messing around. All right. So where am I here? Okay. An ego never joins except to strengthen itself. So there's self-interest in the joining of the ego. And as what we truly are as spirit, we're already joined. It's a done deal. We're not trying to get anything or add to anything. We're just already joined. And we recognize that. And Broke Blue says, if you want a movie to watch, you should rewatch Wizard of Oz as an adult. Yeah, such strong metaphor. There's no place like home. Both witches are two sides of the ego illusion. The true self is Dorothy, realizing the noble life of Aunt Em is the true self. And she wakes up and she says, and you were there, and you were there, and you were there. I often get shown that as the cast party when we're all laughing and realizing, oh my gosh, I had this dream. And you were there, and you were there. Oh, you were playing President Trump, and you were You play my mom, and we're all just laughing because it's so absurd. Okay. And Jamuna says, I love Baroque music. I love to play Bach and harpsichord sound. The beauty of that music. And Tally says, oh, that's so funny. Wizard of Oz has been surfacing a lot for me lately. Synchronicity, thank you. Jamuna says, is it true about the symbology in the Wizard of Oz? I don't know which symbology you're talking about, but I certainly see awakening metaphors there. Maybe you could be specific. And Baroque Blue says, cool. Tally says, somewhere over the rainbow has been surfacing a lot. Yeah. There's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. It's like our awareness of what we truly are together. It's almost like a faint song, you know. We have this awareness, but it's so faint. And then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and is more and more present. And we rely on it more and more. And our memory deepens and becomes more stable. And that's what we rely on to our sense of home, you know, our sense of our true reality, not our fake reality. It becomes what carries us through the day. It becomes what looks through our eyes. It becomes what we see when we're looking toward anyone and anything else. It becomes everything. Okay, what else do we have here? Having identified with what it thinks it understands. So the ego always thinks it understands. And I'm still caught up in this. The ego sees itself and would increase itself by sharing what is like itself. So there's a faint impression of a reflection of, like a weak reflection of the Holy Spirit there, the sameness. But the ego is trying to increase itself at the expense of something else. So difference. Ego is based on difference. And Jamuna says, I'm tuckered out. I'm going wee sleep. Ho'omakai, everyone. Sorry if I butchered that. Ho'oahi. Aloha. One love. Yes, one love. That I can say. Sweet dreams. I'm about to head towards sweet dreams too. Okay. Make no mistake about this maneuver. When we don't feel good, the ego is maneuvering. We can know that much. And Tally says the ego thinks it understands at the same time we are remembering. So it's a weird mix right now of ego thinking it's understanding. Yeah, I hear you, as well as remembering and allowing truth. The ego thinks it understands. Thinks, yes. All right. And Holy Spirit knows how the ego works and can work with us on that basis. So it all works out. All right. The ego always empathizes to weaken, and to weaken is always to attack. So if I'm seeing that one over there as weak, I have forgotten myself, because I'm strength itself. If I'm strength itself, everyone and everything is the same thing. And the more I move along through what seems to be this process, the more I see, oh, strength is everywhere. It's shared. I can rely upon its presence everywhere, and I don't have to figure anything out. I'll just be guided, and everything and everyone with me, they'll just be guided. To weaken is always to attack. You do not know what empathizing means, yet of this you may be sure. If you will merely sit quietly by and let the Holy Spirit relate through you, you will empathize with strength and will gain in strength and not in weakness. So that's what we have here to learn. Side note, you came on live just as the woman above me quieted down for bed. So this is what we have to learn, to sit quietly by and to let the Holy Spirit relate through us. And what is the Holy Spirit relating to? the Holy Spirit in you. The Holy Spirit in me relates to the Holy Spirit in you. Now, if it's a question of my ego and your ego trying to join, then there's really nothing there. There's really nothing happening. But as the Holy Spirit in me sees Spirit in you and accepts that and allows it to flow and keep flowing, then it's different. And Telly says, so getting to listen to this in quiet with the rain going is peaceful. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm happy to share this piece with you. All right, I'm getting ready for bed too. So I'm just going to close out by focusing on my only function is the one God gave me, and that is to see through what is not here to what actually is here all the time, the sameness, the stability. Okay, and Broke Blue says thanks. All right, and Tali says, thank you for all of this, for everything, Julie. Love you. Looking forward to talking tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you. Sweet dreams. And yeah, I'll talk to you later. Bye.